forget, not in love anymore. I keep forget, things will never be the same again. I keep forget how you made that so clear. Come on, church. I keep forgetting.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extraordinary.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. First of all, full disclaimer for everybody watching on YouTube, please ignore my hair. Okay, like yes, the curls are curling, but like obviously the front is like having an issue and it looks a wee bit crazy. That is because I am an idiot and I have been a little unhappy with my hair probably since I had surgery. And that just kind of comes into play. Like your hair thins out a little bit and, you experience a little hair loss at first because, you're struggling to get in the nutrients that you need. Anyway, obviously I'm blonde. If you're watching, you can see like I'm a darker honey, brownish, reddish, auburn, not auburn, but I'm like a sandy blonde. I think that's a good shade. So like the root of my hair looks pretty blonde, and then like the rest of it is like this like sandy, reddish, blondish color. Though it looks a lot darker because I put like product in it to keep the curls. But I was gonna say, first of all, I'm just overprocessed at the root, and then also I thought it was a good idea to relax my edges because I wanted them to like lay nice and flat when I go throughout my day when my hair is straight. So the point is, they're fried. At first I thought I had did something. I didn't do nothing but fry them. So now we just got to get them back. So just ignore that. Everything else looks good though. I'm probably going to let the blonde grow out a little bit and then, we just work on it. So anyway, welcome back guys. So listen, I just want to go in full disclaimer before we get started with this episode. We're going to do this episode a little differently, and I'm going to tell you why. I knew I wanted to record this week. I've been slacking and I knew I wanted to record. And fun fact, I record on, right now I'm shooting video, which honestly, like, I think I've said this before, you don't need a fancy camera if you're doing like YouTube content or TikTok content. You honestly, like your phone, these iPhones, like the cameras are spectacular. So I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max that I've been using for my camera, for my YouTube content. The problem is I have a video that I just uploaded to YouTube actually today. So head on over and check that out. It was a Temu haul, Temu, Target, and Amazon, I think. With a little word of wisdom at the end, because y'all know how I do. It took me 2 weeks to upload that video. YouTube was really on some other stuff. Like I uploaded 3 or 4 shorts in the time that it took for this video to upload. It took me a solid 2 weeks, seriously, because I started uploading the video 2 weeks ago and it took forever. And then by the time it got to the 50% mark, it was like, oh, can't upload video. So I had to delete and start all over. And that took a whole other week just to get the second video up. It literally just went up today and I started 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago. Yeah. So, because of that, I was trying to save space on the phone that I record on, which reminds me, I need to fix that. So hold 1 second. Okay. Sorry. I had to fix that. It just hit me when I said, I was like, oh, I need space, that like, I actually did not make space before I started this episode. So I had to go and do that really quick before we got cut off midway on YouTube. So there we go. All right. We're all good now. So anyway, this video is going to be literally random, because like I said, I didn't telling on myself here a little bit, but I didn't necessarily plan for this podcast episode. I do know that there are several things I want to touch on. But I didn't plan on this episode. I didn't plan for this episode. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be like a not nonstop. It's going to be a solid like half an hour of basically like big ups and word on the street. So I have some stories and some topics I want to talk about, and we're just going to go through it together. So let's just dive in. let's see. Okay, so starting with controversial. You know what? I don't want to do that today because there's other things I want to get into. Let's start number one. Jeannie Mai and Jeezy are apparently going through a divorce, which I hate for them. I was so excited for Jeannie, mainly when she got pregnant, because I was a little leery about her dating Jeezy, just because like anybody who knows Jeannie, and who has listened to the things Jeannie said over the years, like it's clear she has a thing for black men. And of course her ex-husband was white, and she had made some like comments in the past, like I'm gonna just say, because she was married to her Caucasian ex-husband, and she was like, I like my chocolate on the side, you know, dark, no, she said like dark meat on the side, but white keeps me lean or whatever, it keeps me right. And we were like, even Tamar was like, I'm sorry, what? What are you trying to say? Walk that back, because what? Yeah, so I was leery, but they seemed like they were a good fit. Now Jeezy's filing for divorce, and Jeannie has actually recently come out and said that she wants to contest the divorce. She wants to work it out. She didn't get married to get divorced. So truthfully, I hope that they can work that out, because I hate seeing all these people get divorced. Like you don't get married to get divorced. Like you date around to break up and meet the right person so that you don't have to get divorced. So I really do not want to see them get divorced. I'm still rooting for Tia and Corey. I feel like they can work it out. That they were on that list. Like, you know how we have that like group of people where like y'all cannot break up. Steph and Aisha, Boris Kojo and Nicole Ari Parker. My neighbors are so nosy, dog. I got to find a new spot to record at. Because I'm a little nosy too. But anyway, but not as nosy as them. Anyway, Tia and Corey were on that list for me of like people that can never break up. So, and no, like you don't want to put your hope all in people, especially people you don't know, because how are you going to do that? Put your hope in God. But still, it's sad to see. I really hope that they can work it out. I think they can. We've seen before people, even Kim and Croy Bierman, like I really hope they can work that out, because like, come on, y'all. We've seen this with people. Like look at Nene and Greg. Like they got divorced and then they got remarried, and they were literally together until Greg's death. So I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for everybody going through a divorce right now that can be worked out. Obviously, if there's like some serial cheating and there's abuse, like get out of there. But if there's not, and you guys are just having differences or disagreements, work that out. That's the point of premarital counseling. And hopefully this is not, my mic system is like getting a little bit better. So hopefully I'm not like screaming. Okay, next. This is like week 2-week old news maybe, but Colorado, Deion Sanders' son Shador, that game what was like double overtime, like craziness, if only for Colorado to pull out the win. It was just crazy. It was a crazy game. If you didn't watch that game, I don't know what to tell you, but and there was a lot of like foolishness, there was a lot of controversy. And one of the updates that I do want to give here is that there was talk of like, is Shador Sanders is quarterback for Colorado, and he is Deion Sanders' son, and one of his sons. He has another son, and who actually is in, I think he's hospitalized right now. He got hurt, so praise up for him that he's going to be all right. And I believe he will pull through just fine. I'm sorry. Anyway, getting distracted. Yeah. There's a lot of controversy around that, and people of a certain shade, throwing shade at Deion and his son. So to see them pull out the win was amazing. This really changed the trajectory of football, of college football. It was amazing. It was dope. It was dope. I loved every second of it. I've actually, my partner and I, he keeps watching like different highlights from the games and like behind the scenes, and like I've been watching it with him, and I'm like, this is dope. It's that black boy joy. We love to see it. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited to see how things go and grow. Oh, but the update is, and that's Colorado U, by the way. Shador, there was talk of whether or not he was going to go to the NFL or if he was going to stay at Colorado and finish out his degree, he is going to stay. He will be returning to Colorado U next year. So he is not going to the NFL just yet. I think that's a smart decision. And he's very fortunate because he has his father, who is a former NFL player, who knows the ins, the outs, the ropes, and the folks, to kind of be his sounding board, his guiding light. So good choice for Shador. Let's go on to y'all. I don't even want to, okay. I'm gonna spend a solid minute on this. Okay. I was like, I don't want to talk about the, since we're on the topic of football. Oh God. It like pains me to, and get, okay. Okay. So, I'm sure that even if you are not a football fan, or if you are not a Taylor Swift fan, you know these two people's names now. Whether you were on one side of the spectrum or the other and you didn't know the other person, you know them both now. Travis Kelce, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. It used to be the finest tight end, in my opinion, in the league. That white man he's fine. Was fine until he cut his beard off, and now he just looks like weird, like Italian creep, and he's not even Italian, I don't think. I don't know. Ugh. Anyway, rumors are swirling that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have been dating. A story came out where Travis admitted that he kind of shot his shot at Taylor. He left her a little note with his number on it, and something with, he wanted to like talk to her at the show or something, and he didn't get to, but somehow, I honestly don't remember because I don't care. But yeah, apparently they're dating, or they're spending time together. It's clear that they're not like official, although yes, this past week's game, she was in the skybox with his mom. There are so many things I want to say about that. So let's start here. His mama don't like Taylor. I'm gonna just say that. Now you looking at me like, oh, do you know Donna? No, I do not know Donna personally. But here's what I do know. The look of annoyance on a person's face, okay? And I'm gonna be honest, Taylor was doing too daggone much. Now, I think Taylor, if I'm not mistaken, Travis Kelce and I are the same age. Maybe he's a little older, but I'm pretty sure he's 30. I'm gonna look it up so that I'm not misquoted. So she's like a couple years older than him, which is not a bad deal. Like literally she's like hold on, I'm gonna look it up right now. She's like, I think she's like 4 or 5 years older than him. I could be wrong because he might be, no, they're the same age. He's immature. That's what it is. I was like, no, they are the same age. So she's 34, he's 33. So she's a year older than him. Not a big deal. But I really thought he was my age. I did. Homeboy is immature though. So anyway, she was just doing too much, bro. If we can start with the skybox, her little face is just like, oh my God, like every face she made in the skybox made me want to throw a tomato at her. Like, no, I wouldn't do that because y'all need to stop throwing fruit and vegetables at these artists. They work really hard and put a lot of hard work and effort into what they do. But bro, she was doing too much, and it was obvious that she was doing too much because she knew that cameras were on her. Come on now. If my man is playing a professional sport and I'm there supporting my man, yes, I'm hype, I'm excited, I'm there to support my man. I'm acting naturally hype and excited because as his partner first and a sports fan second, adrenaline's already rushing, I'm already hype. What I'm not going to do is take it even further because I know that cameras were on her the whole time. It was so annoying. Like, we're here to see the game and they kept going back to Taylor in the skybox. And she was just doing the absolute most. And we all know she did not understand the game of football. So she was just like, oh, look, a basket. Like, I'm sorry, Swifties, don't drag me because I do like her old music. And like one or two of her new songs. But anyway, am I in my villain era? And then the evil laugh afterwards. Anyway, no, I'm not trying to be a villain. But sis was just doing too much, bro. She was just doing too much. And it was all over his mom's face. And even like there was like a black couple that was like next to her, and like the one girl was like holding her hand and she was like cheering. I know I keep touching, sorry YouTube, I keep touching I'm just so annoyed that I like fried it like that. Like I'm like, why'd I do that? But like the homegirl was like touching her hand, and like, you know, you could tell they were kind of like, oh girl, you hyped to be here, but at the same time, like, calm down. But bro, Donna, Travis Kelce's mom, sis was, her face the whole time was like, if this sweet lamb of God don't shut up, if she don't stop hollering, if she don't sit down, jump one more time. Like, sis was irritated. But that's probably because Donna's used to the girls that Travis has dated in the past, which they know the game, and they know the lane. They know the game and they know the lane. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, you don't. And it's not just because Travis Kelce's exes are black women. It's because any woman who has dated an athlete, you know the role that you play. You know the lane that you play when it comes to his games. And you know that when it's his season, it's his season. What that means is during the regular season, it's all about him, unfortunately. It is. If that doesn't mean that you're neglected. That just means majority of your life for those like 4 to 6 months is football. It is what it is. So you know the role you play. You cheer him on, you hype him up, you make sure he's got what he needs. But at the same time, you don't do the darn most, because I'm grown. You don't do the most because you don't want to distract. Like, we don't need any more Jessica Simpson, Tony Romo situations, like costing us games. Like, okay, like, you know the lane, okay? And so I think Mrs. Kelce is probably used to girls like Kayla and what was the first girl's name? I forget her name. Kayla and the other ex, who know like how to behave. That's the best I can say. They know how to behave. So yeah, Taylor Swift was doing the most in that box, and Mama Kelce was not about it. But here we go. I had to get a sip of my water. What is her name? Travis, obviously I don't know his whole dating history, but so for those of you who don't remember, back in the day, Maya, thank you, Lord. It was the first thing that popped up on Twitter when I opened it. Maya, Travis Kelce had a dating show on E! A few years ago. I think it was like 2016. That sounds about right, because I think that was when I first came home from California. So he had a show called Catching Kelce, and it was like, you know, his own flavor of love. It was a dating show, and he was looking for love. Again, I already said the man is 33 and he's very immature. I thought he was my age, if not younger. And I'm only 3 years younger than him, but still, like, my boy is immature. He was immature when he was on the show too. So he's just one of those people that has a lot of growing up to do. So in 2016, he had the show Catching Kelce. A young lady named Maya won, and she was, of course, black. And that's when we found out that we knew, because if you watch the show, like, he wasn't paying them white girls attention like that. Like, you could see, like, you could tell. I want you to go with me. Go with me. If you know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying. And if you don't know what I'm saying, see me after the show and I'm gonna help you out. Go with me. You could tell who he was into and who he just wanted to get into. All right. If you don't get it, just give me a call, okay? And I'll break it down to you off the mic, okay? So we knew when we were watching the show. And of course he chose a beautiful black girl, and they dated for a short while. And so she recently just came out and was like, you know, be careful, Taylor. I wouldn't be a girl's girl if I didn't tell you, you know, once a cheater, always a cheater. So sis is claiming that he cheated on her when they got together after Catching Kelce, and that he cheated on her with Kayla Nicole. And come on, my Kelce fans, football fans, y'all know Kayla Nicole and Travis Kelce have been dating on and off since 2017, something like that. Apparently there was an overlap in their relationship and his relationship with Maya, which is why he and Maya broke up. And Kayla's camp also claimed that there was infidelity and her relationship with him, which is why they broke up. But for those of you who know that relationship, they were on and off, back and forth, and they finally, they were a thing for years, like I said, on and off. But we really only saw them on for years. She was there for both Super Bowl wins. And sis supported him through it all. Like, it is not easy to date an athlete. Okay, it wasn't easy dating high school athletes. It wasn't easy dating college athletes. It's not easy dating former athletes, washed up athletes. But imagine dating a professional athlete. It's not easy dating a minor league athlete. Imagine dating a professional athlete. Like, if it's hard out here for regular athletes, like, sis got her work. My point is, she put them boots on and went to work. Okay, sis was in the trenches. She was working. Shout out to Kayla Nicole. She was doing her good work with brother Kelsey. But so they broke up last year, and which shocked us all because we were like, we love Kayla. He supported Kayla in everything she did, and she, like I said, sis had a career, and she put her stuff to the side to be there for everything that he was doing. So getting into it, that's what Maya's saying. Maya's saying that Travis is a cheater and he cheated on her with Kayla. Kayla's saying that Kayla's camp is saying that Travis is a cheater and he cheated on her with whoever. So basically what they're trying to say is we don't need any more teardrops on my guitar albums. So it's best if Taylor just leave it alone because we're not, what's the next album gonna be? You know, what's she gonna call it? Tight End? Once a chief? Oh, touchdown. Oh, boy. Stupid. Anyway, so I'm just going to say what the Saints are saying. Then we're going to move on because I feel like I've been talking about this way too long and I'm over it. We're all kind of like, okay, black women everywhere are blown that Travis Kelce's dating Taylor Swift for two reasons. Number one, how do you go from Maya, who is gorgeous? Sis had a huge glow up after the show, but how do you go from her to Kayla freaking Nicole, who is one of the most beautiful women to ever walk this earth, to 2x4 Taylor Swift? Like, how does this become this, become this, become this? Like, how? How do you go from like these gorgeous, beautiful women of color to basic plain Jane can't stay in a relationship for anything but writes wonderful songs about all the breakups she's been through Swift? Like, we don't see it. We don't get it. We don't get why he would go from like the caliber of women that he's been dating to that. We don't get it. And it's weird for us. We're like, how? 100% he is downgrading. I'm sorry, Taylor. I'm sorry, Swifties. Please don't come after me. We're just saying it like it is. I'm not the only one who said it. Like I said, black women everywhere are like, what? It's a downgrade. It's a big downgrade. It feels like he's settling for a safe choice because I'm going to be honest. Here we go. Number one, if he's been accused of infidelity by 2 ex-girlfriends that we all know, okay? It's clear that he likes black women, okay? But it's also clear that he's not ready to grow up and be a committed man. So what is an easier target than the girl who can't keep a man, but is overly excited just to have a man, whose relationship ups and downs are always in and out of the media, and she writes a great song about it. So at best, he gets to have a good time and, do what he wants to do and not have to worry about being held accountable by someone who consistently settles. And she gets a great album out of it. You know what I mean? Other side of that is maybe eventually she's okay with him needing, the next 15 years to decide he's ready to grow up. And she's fine waiting until she's 45, 50 to finally tie the knot. Who cares, But it feels like it's definitely one of those, like, I don't want anybody to hold me accountable. I don't want to be with somebody who's going to hold me accountable right now. I don't want to be with somebody who's going to call me higher. I just want to do my thing. I want a girlfriend, but I want a girlfriend. I don't want a wife who I'm dating right now, who is my girlfriend right now. I want a girlfriend who's going to put up with my crap, who's going to let me do whatever I want to do. She's going to turn a blind eye to it. She's not going to call me out on my stuff. And she's just going to, you know, just be happy that she, you know, has me. And that's like good enough. That's what I feel like. And Taylor's just Taylor. All right, let's move on. I don't want to talk about this no more. We are blown. We are blown in the streets. We are so blown in the streets. But truthfully speaking, and as the relationship coach, I see what I see. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about my discernment. It's never wrong. And I mean that. It's never wrong. My discernment is never wrong. Case in point, Portia Williams Guabadia and her baby daddy Dennis. I called that when we met Dennis. Before she told us that she was pregnant with that baby, I called it. Because he started to grow on me and I was like, Dennis is cool. Like, I like their friendship. But he gonna cheat on her. He gonna make her feel bad. He gonna try to manipulate her. And it's not gonna end well. All right, then. So all I'm saying is stay tuned. If I'm saying it here on Let's Talk, we're going to be talking about it in a few months when it goes down. Okay. All right. Let me get to my last thing here. Oh, on the subject of football, I'm so sorry. This was not in my list, but I can't let this slide. Deshaun Watson. I'm saying his name first because some of you might not know the next person without me saying it. His girlfriend, Jilly Anise, she just dropped a song called I Must Really Love You. And if I can give my musical review of it, I like it. I would like to see a feature on the second verse. I would like to see a remix with a feature on the second verse. And I feel like that whoever's on the second verse should give like that little like R&B rappy vibe. So like it's like that lyric play, kind of like how I almost said Ed Sheeran, kind of like how Ed Sheeran does, you know, where it's like the rhythm, like he's like singing, but Beyonce does it too. It's like they're singing but they're rapping. I think somebody should feature on that second verse, and that verse should be like that. It should be like that singing rap situation. I also think that it should be contrasting to the overall first verse and message of the song. So if you guys don't know, Deshaun Watson was caught up in some stuff, some sexual misconduct allegations. And this was like a year ago. And we don't know what came out. I don't know what came out of it. I'll be honest. And again, I've had this conversation with my partner. We as a collective, I'm not saying it's not true, because what I'm not going to do is victim blame or not believe the victims. I'm not saying it's not true. But what I'm saying is it seems like a setup. That's it. It seems like a setup. I don't believe that happened with that many women. And he had a good point. He said maybe one or two, but 27? I agree. Seems like a setup. So she stayed with him through it all. We were all looking at her like, are you going to stay? She stayed with him through it all, and she dropped a song. And the song pretty much says it all. You guys got to listen to it. It's called I Must Really Love You by Jilly, Jilly. It's the first few letters of the name Jillian, because that is her actual name, her full name, Jillian. But she goes by Jilly. It tells that they are not perfect, and that this relationship has not been perfect, no matter how perfect they make it look. And all we know from the song is that he clearly messed up. What we don't know is if she's referencing the sexual misconduct or if she's referencing something else. But we know she's referencing something. And we're gonna leave it at that. But it's really good. So that's what I was saying. Second verse, I think the second verse should be contrasting. So the first verse is definitely like, you know, you hurt me, like you did this to me, but I'm still here because I must really love you. Like, this is definitely worth fighting for. You made a mistake, yet you're still worth fighting for. I feel like the second verse, like if there were a remix, should be more like, I must really love you because I'm doing things out of my character. Like, I'm not the girl that falls, you know what I mean? I'm the girl that runs, or like I'm the girl that shows no affection, but for you I'm the most affectionate, you know what I mean? I think that'd be cool. But anyway, I love it. I love when people tell their truth. I thought it was great. I think it's a beautiful song. And I respect her so much for telling her truth and for being brave enough to tell her truth, because she could have just been like, oh, let me sweep it under the rug. No, no. And she made a point, not she made a point, but she said, you know, how are you going to embarrass me publicly? And I'm not saying that she's embarrassing him publicly, but this is his bed and he made it. And either way, it's not even on some get back, because the whole point of the song is like, through it all, like, I'm here, like, I must really love you. So I like the message. Musically, I think Neo helped produce it. Musically, I love it. Y'all know I'm a sucker for a bass line. Musically, I'm like, I can see so many rappers like just taking the instrumental and like using it for another song. Like it's musically, I love it. Like as a musician, I'm like, it's top tier. So go stream it if you haven't. I Must Really Love You by Jilly. This is free, unpaid promotion. So I must really love you, Jilly. Because I am putting your stuff out here. But seriously, it's that good. I wouldn't, come on, y'all. I wouldn't tell y'all no lies. All right, last story. Last thing. There is, I'm trying to find it and now I can't find it. Oh. I saw this thread on Instagram today and I love it. And it says, Black men reveal their favorite hairstyles on Black women. It was so cute. Like they were like, we love, a lot. I think the biggest answer was natural and messy bun. Excuse me. So they were like, oh, we love a messy bun. Like the girl was asking, what's your favorite hairstyle in Black women? And they were like, oh, my favorite hairstyle in Black women, all of them, because I just love Black women. Or I love the messy bun. I love just natural. I love the fro. I love the middle part. One guy was like, the bust down middle part, I gotta have it. I love the side part. I love the sew-in, like whatever. I thought it was so cute, because one thing that we see a lot in the media is Black men tearing down Black women. And that divide being created between Black men and Black women. What we don't see enough is the uplifting. We see Black women uplifting Black men. We do. We don't see enough Black men uplifting Black women in that way, that we're still worthy, we're still beautiful. So I loved that. I love that like this positive like video has resurfaced and it is going around the internet, because we need more of that. Like, truthfully, there are more Black men that love Black women than Black women think. And there are more Black women who are healed and whole and want to treat Black men with the respect and love that they deserve, and not tear them down and come from a place of hurt and anger and trauma towards them. So that narrative that's being spread that like, it's just toxic between us, it's not true. It's not real, and it's not the majority. And it's about time that like that is shown. So I loved seeing that. I thought that was just so great. I thought that was so amazing. And I feel like now there's got to be a reverse. Like, what's your favorite hairstyle on Black men? Like, love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, that's all the news I have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to AJW. I could never. Maybe I could. I don't know. But yeah, that's all the news I have for you guys today. And I just want to say this, and maybe this can be an episode for another day, but I want to say this, and more so sticking on the topic of, well, I'm gonna say this: be the change you wish to see. I'm quoting Gandhi, be the change you wish to see. And here's what I mean by that, right? I just talked about this video of the Black men uplifting Black women, and we never see anything like, not never, but we see more of Black men tearing down Black women and lifting up racially ambiguous women or Latino women or white women or whatever, and not Black women. That is put in our face. That's not the reality. But because we know that, we have to be the change we wish to see. So what I'm saying is, we, both men and women, it is important to do that work. It is important to do that internal work. It is important to go to therapy. It is important to get that help and healing that you need, so that you do not perpetuate cycles, so that you can break generational curses, and that you can show up healed, whole, healthy, and ready to love someone the way they deserve to be loved and not to tear them down, right? So you have to, it starts with you. Yes, we want to see this narrative change on social media, but trust me, if everybody starts doing that work on their own in their everyday life, it's like, it's going to be like a wildfire. Like, you start doing that work, you're going to find yourself in that happy, healthy relationship, you know, that is not toxic. And then you're going to start to see your friends in those relationships and your family members. And the next thing you know, you're going to start to see it all over social media. Like, but you have to do the work yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody can force you. Nobody's going to make you. Nobody's going to drag you. You've got to want it for you, and you've got to make the choice to do it for you. Don't do it because you want a man. Don't do it because you want a girl. Don't do it because you want to be in a relationship. Do it for you because you want a better all around overall you. And that is the word of wisdom that I will leave you on. You got to do it for you. So thank you guys so much for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but instead you chose to be here listening to me ramble on and on and on and on. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Make sure that if you are on YouTube, you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend. And if you were listening to this podcast, make sure you go ahead and give us 5 stars, tap, share this podcast with a friend. And as always, you can find me on everything at Aislyn Wade. That's everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook. I think I said Facebook already, but you know, everywhere. And I said Instagram. Yeah, you can find me at Aislyn Wade on everything, everywhere. And yeah, shout out to everybody who's listening from every city, every state, every province, every town, every country, every continent. I appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful for you. Without you all, there would be no show. No matter how many long breaks I take in between episodes, there would be no show without you guys. And that is just facts. So be the change you wish to see. Do that work for you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.